What's going on, guys? It's Coaster Phil here, back again with my next video. And before I start this one, I just want to say thank you so much for all the support on my first video. I never could have imagined it would have done that well, and it means a lot to me, so yeah, thanks. And this one's going to talk about my most anticipated roller coasters of 2019. And this list is mostly going to focus on the US, but there are some really cool international coasters coming out this year, so I did want to add them in the list. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So coming in at our number 10 spot, it's going to be Tigress at Busch Gardens, Tampa. And I mean, there's not a lot to discuss with this spot. It's just another premier ride, Skyrocket 2. You know, these are always fun rides. Got a good launch. First Inversion gives them pretty decent hang time. And the only thing that's not really good about this ride is that they're using the comfort collars instead of the lap bars like some of the other premier ride Skyrockets like Superman at Discovery Kingdom. But nonetheless, this should add to Busch Gardens lineup and it'll be a good ride. So it's our number 10 spot. So coming in at the number 9 spot is going to be Kentucky Flyer coming to Kentucky Kingdom in 2019. And when I first heard this announcement, I was pretty shocked because I really didn't think anything was going to be coming to Kentucky Kingdom this year. But, you know, it's going to be a pretty good addition. It'll give them a solid top 3 with this, Lightning Run, and Storm Chaser. And, you know, I've heard some pretty good things about these Gravity Group coasters. I know about Wooden Warrior, Oscar's Wacky Taxi, which was just added last year at Sesame Place. And these rides have pretty good restraints, I've heard, give a decent amount of airtime, and they're a pretty good entrance coaster for people who are just getting into it. So, yeah, it's going to be a good ride, and Kentucky Kingdom's lineup is only getting stronger with this one. So, coming in at the number 8 spot is going to be the Takabisha clone coming to New Jersey. And, I mean, we don't really know the name of this coaster, but we do know it's coming in 2019, and it's going to be at this Nickelodeon Mall, the new one in New Jersey. And, you know, this looks to be a pretty good ride, because it's going to take Takabisha's steepness record, so it'll be the steepest roller coaster in the world, and I'm pretty sure it'll break its height record by just a bit, so this will draw more people out to New Jersey to ride this, and it'll be a pretty good credit to get. And what else I find pretty interesting about this ride is that there's going to be a spinning coaster wrapped around it, so it's going to be like kind of an immersive experience, and you're going to be able to see one coaster while riding the other, and you know, it should be pretty cool. At the number 7 spot is West Coast Racers coming to Six Flags Magic Mountain. And this is going to be Magic Mountain's 20th coaster, and it's going to be their second Mobius dueling coaster, which is kind of extra if you ask me. But nonetheless, this looks like a pretty good ride. Love that is 4 launches. I mean, High Five Element, you already have that on one of their other rides, Twisted Colossus, so that should be fun as well. And it actually looks like it has some pretty good theming, because it's themed to the car team, West Coast Customs, so that should be pretty cool when you go into the station, because apparently there's like immersive pit stop, so you know, that would be pretty cool with it. And I think that overall it's going to be another great addition for Magic Mountain's lineup, and it's going to be a pretty good 20th coaster. So number 7, West Coast Racers. At the number 6 spot, it's going to be Yukon Striker coming to Canada's Wonderland. This is the most recent dive coaster to be coming to the U.S., and essentially it's going to break all of Al Raven's records at Cedar Point. So this should be a really nice ride. It'll give Canada's Wonderland a pretty solid top 3 with Leviathan, Behemoth, and now this. So all 3 B&Ms. And, I mean, despite this being looking like a really good ride, there are some things I wanted to pick with. I don't like that it has the vest restraints because that eliminates some of the intensity of the ride and it makes it kind of forceless. And there's also just some weird elements on this, like vertical loop, which I don't really get because we haven't seen that on a dive coaster. And then after the mid-course brake run, it kind of just looks weak. But, you know, nonetheless, it looks like a really good ride, and I can't wait to get to it. So, number 6, Yukon Striker. Number 5 is going to be Steel Curtain coming to Kennywood. And this roller coaster is going to break the Inversion record in North America, but sadly not the world, which is still going to belong to the Smiler. But nonetheless, it looks to be like a really kind of weird ride, honestly, but it looks to be pretty good, I'm not going to lie. I don't really know what to think of it. It has some really cool inversions. The layout's kind of funky, but you know, nonetheless, I'm really excited to see it, and hopefully I get out to Kennywood this year so that I can ride it. So yeah, number 5, Steel Curtain. Coming in at the number 4 spot, it's going to be Copperhead Strike coming to Carrowinds, and this is going to be one of Mock Ride's first non-Wild Mouse roller coasters coming to the U.S., and this looks to be like a really amazing ride. I know when people first saw the POV, they were saying that it looked really slow, and kind of forceless, but I actually believe that it will be a little bit forceful because on those two loops they're more circular than oval, which usually gives a bit more force. And I don't really care about this ride being slow because it looks to be a very compact layout, and that really shouldn't affect the ride experience that much. And yeah, it just looks to have some great inversions, nice airtime moments, especially on that second launch. And yeah, I can't wait for this ride. I really hope I get to ride it soon. And at the number 3 spot, it's going to be Max Force coming to Six Flags Great America. This is going to be Great America's 17th roller coaster in the park, and it's going to take the record for the fastest acceleration in the U.S. Now, this doesn't mean that's going to be the fastest coaster in the U.S. That'll still belong to King Ka, Six Flags Great Adventure, but this will be the fastest acceleration. So 0 to 78 in under 2 seconds. It's going to be a really intense launch, and this ride just looks to be really good. It's one of the first air launches by SNS to come to the U.S. since the ride at King's Dominion, which name I can't remember right now. But yeah, it looks to be a very intense ride. It has some nice inversions, and I really hope I get to ride this because I might be going to Great America this year, so I'll keep my hopes up. And yeah, Max Force looks like a great ride, and I think it's going to be one of the best of 2019. Alright, so both these next two spots are going to be RMCs, and they're both international. But the first one I've chosen to put at number 2 spot is going to be RMC Robin Hood coming to Walibi in Holland. And I mean, there's not much to say here. RMCs are always amazing, and it's great that they're doing more international rides now so that more people around the world will be able to experience these things. And yeah, this ride looks to have like really good layouts. You know, its inversions are going to be great. Airtime, of course. No problems there. So I'm really just happy that this is coming internationally so that many people will get to ride it. And yeah, it looks really amazing and great addition to the park. Give them a nice top 2. Finally, at the number 1 spot, this one probably nobody is coming to RMC. It's a and I mean, this ride just looks like it's going to be insane. It's one of the fastest RMCs and the lights are going to be great on the other sides. They can do it and it's just going to be great. So that was my ranking of my top 10 most anticipated roller coasters coming in 2019, and 2019 looks to be a really great year for roller coasters, and I'm really excited to see what happens. So feel free to leave your comments in the comment section below, leave a like, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.